Hey, welcome back. I'm back, and hopefully you're all back watching, because we're back to streaming. We took a few days off, because we had to update our situation. But we've done it. It's done, and we are now in a better place to send you quality gameplay and the like. You can see there's a little bit of a change in the setup of my layout. That's just so I can have a slightly bigger. Um, is it really bigger? I don't know. The slightly bigger game display area, but yeah, the quality hopefully is increased. I know that the freaking the quality on my end is awesome. I'm getting a lot more seamless play. I tested out TaleSpire like after I got everything set up, and oh my god, I have it running at full tilt, and it looks great. I got the specularity fade back, so we get the neat little blurred foreground and an out of focus background effect, which is very cool. Look at that. It's gorgeous. Gorgeous. Um so yeah, welcome back. Everybody. Welcome to this. Last time, we didn't really skip a beat with this because this was our the last stream we did last week was TaleSpire, and now we're back to it. So we finished up the road leading up to the gate of the keep itself, which took all stream. it was all day building this. And we finished off just kind of dressing up this area here, this little camp area that was sort of for people who maybe can't afford to get in or weren't allowed into the fortress, that kind of situation. So yeah, we're gonna get right back to it. We're gonna start. Let's copy this little campfire here and move it. This bonfire. It's really a bonfire, and we'll just kind of line this thing right with some bonfires. That's the sign of civilization, right? Fires back in this time. As long as you had ample access to the means to start fires, you're basically a civilized area. Of course, any goblin can start a fire, right? So maybe it's more situational than that. But yeah, this is like sort of the camp where merchants kind of hang out or have to wait their turn before they're allowed in the keep. Wait until they're cleared to get in the keep before they get permission from Lord. Was it Falcon? Not Falconflight. Lord Drysdale. I'm thinking of. I have so many different D&D campaigns in my brain right now. So, I'm sorry. Which Lord is this? Yeah, Lord Drysdale. Oh, Mr. Drysdale. That's how I remember. Beverly Hillbillies, the best mnemonic device ever, in my opinion. So yeah, look at this. You get to look down the alley. That neat little fade. It's dope. So yeah, we're just gonna continue building, but we're gonna look around first because it just looks so good with all this, with it completely cranked all the way up. We get to see. Let me turn that off so we don't have that grid. We get to see everything the way it's supposed to look in TaleSpire. Gorgeous. And yeah, you walk down this way. It's the merchant area, and oh look, another merchant tent where she's selling vile potions and the like and things. Cool. Oh yeah, one thing I wanted to do now that I'm looking at it, I wanted to flip this around. Boop. Just like that. A very small thing. All right. So yeah, I like it. I like the way it turned out. This I do have to dress up a bit, and I am going to dress it up a bit. I just don't know what with. I had mused over making like a few outbuildings, maybe. Like maybe a barn or something here, and maybe something over here. I can't think of what it could possibly be. Maybe, I don't know. Any suggestions would be helpful. So leave a little suggestion in the comments if you're watching this on YouTube, or get up in that chat and let me know what types of buildings you might see in this sort of inner Bailey area to the fortress. Yeah, I mean, we got most of the stuff. We got the stables over here. There's a blacksmith in here already on the ground floor, and there's barracks on the top floor of this tower. Over here, there's storage, and then barracks, and then there's this little hen house that we built. This duplex hen house, which is gorgeous. That's the word of the day, gorgeous. And we got a cow. We might extend this greenery out. Yeah, I think we might just extend this greenery down and just do like the path as well, just kind of going down this way. And maybe it'll end like right about here. I wish there was more of a transition tile between the cobblestones and the dirt. Maybe we can use clipping to make a transition. I never thought of that. I don't know why I didn't think of that, but we can try that because it might be. Here, let's try it, actually. Let me grab one of the little guys. Where's the little guy? There we go. Grab a little guy. And using clipping, we'll just throw it in there. Nope. Disappears completely. All right. We tried. All right. So, yeah, I guess, we're back to doing the outside, which is a little, I guess it could be called boring, but it is a task. It's a monumental task. But it need not be super difficult, since we have this neat little measuring tool that we created. We can now just start at the bottom and work our way up instead of vice versa, which would have been incredibly difficult and strange. So starting down here, we can I guess we'll start with this, right? This is the easiest way to do it. Is just to start with this bad boy, and we'll do it in layers. That's the easiest way, and we'll just go around. That way we're not having to build up, and then each step along each step we're not having to build up, which would be super time consuming, and we're not going to do that. Oh, those actually drop down a little further from there. That's fine. This should be sufficient. So yeah, we're just gonna build this out a bit. And there's no right or wrong way to do this, like Bob Ross. Whoa, that's wrong. I'm sorry, but that way was wrong. Looking through the solid object, that's not going to work. That's incorrect, and you're wrong for wanting to do it. But aside from that, there's no wrong answer. Let's come out a little bit. Like that. And that. And we'll link that up too. Just make it a solid thing. Also, doot, and doot, and doot. There. Looks a little less blocky that way. And we're probably going to throw another layer on top of that. Oops. Alright. Just keep it going. This inside angle is probably going to be the most difficult one to try and do, just because it's kind of hard to see. But I think it should be alright. Let's see here. Yep. And there. And woo. Right there. That works. I'm trying to rotate this thing as I go. I'm not too concerned with it sticking into the undercarriage. I don't know, the under part of this sort of rocky walkway we've created, because we're not really gonna, it's gonna be hollow for the most part. We're not gonna do this completely solid. That would be bananas. Super time consuming. We don't want to do that. So yeah, using clipping, we're just holding down shift and overlapping these tiles. So tile, it's more of a token than a tile, this thing, but it does overlap very nicely, and with one rocky cliff face we can make so many shapes. Oh, the things I can make with my Spirograph rocky cliff face by Ohio Art. Oh, there we go, right there. And again, we're probably going to come in a little bit from this to make a little narrow chasm. It might narrow to like one square wide, but that's fine as long as we have something. And we're going to have water kind of going through that. It should be really cool. Yeah, that's fine. Do that, and how about that work? Sure. Whoop. Just trying to throw these down in a somewhat realistic way. It doesn't have to exactly mimic the outline up top, because why would it? It's just a natural rock formation. It's not going to be uniform all the way down. Which makes my job easier, honestly. Alright, cool. And this is going to, of course, come out a little bit, and probably... That's probably going to be the mouth of that watery... The karst? Is it a karst? I don't know. It's a word I've heard before when describing a watery, rocky, watery body of water. So, I don't know. I'm going to stick with karst for now. If someone wants to Google karst and let me know if I'm correct. I just like the word. That's one thing that kind of amazes me with... I play MTG, Magic the Gathering, and a lot of the lands, they have their, the basic lands, mountain, plains, swamp, forest, island, that fun stuff. But then they have the special lands, and some of that are like a lot of dual lands that are two different lands, tacked into one land. And how the naming conventions that they have for them just kind of astound me, because they never seem to run out. It's like sometimes, yeah, they mix things up, because there's a... what was it? Highland Lake and Highland Forest. That was one that I've noticed recently. The Highland Lake has been a thing for a long time. It's a mountain and an island, technically, because it's a lake on a mountain. Sure, it taps for blue or red. The one most recently, they did the snow dual lands, and the forest island dual land, snow dual land, is Highland Forest, which taps for either blue or green. And you notice that that's a little bit of them just dipping back into the well. It's like, of course it's just going to be this. But, at a certain point, you got to run out of vocabulary words. Like, I don't know. We're just going to name this one an island mountain. This is the island mountain. It taps for red or blue. Use your imagination. Let's see. That goes there. And that goes there. This goes here. Yeah, we're gonna have to come in a little bit. Oh, flip it this way. Oh, nope, there we go. The other problem with me, systematically losing the, there we go, that works. The open space down here is that I don't have a reference. Once you get down to the grid, if you hold shift, you stay on the grid. Otherwise, it'll start floating up over objects. But if you hold down shift, it stays level with the grid. which is how you do clipping, basically. Otherwise, it'll just float on whatever you're trying to merge it with. Alright, so go there, and, oh, yeah, there we go. And how about one right here, and similarly there, and likewise here, and we will actually come out a little bit over here as well. Does that work? Ooh, yep, cool. It narrows a little bit there. That's cool. That's cool. Cool, cool, cool. Tight, tight, tight. Sure. And make sure we're level. We are. And that we want to come out a little bit. Yep, that works. That's fine. Ooh, too far. Too far. Too far. That's fine. That works as well. What this also opens up, having this, which I'm 100% going to do, is we're going to do a secret tunnel somewhere along this this watery karst. I'm going to keep using karst. that accesses the dungeon, and maybe it's just it's unknown to most people, except for the bandits that used to inhabit the keep, who are pretty much all dead, right? Lord Drysdale and his force, his cavalry, his military unit came in and just kind of obliterated them because they ticked off the wrong people. The Church of Helm, I guess it would be in this instance. And yeah, they suffered for it. And there are no more bandits in Keep on the Borderlands. It's now inhabited by good folk, arguably good folk, relatively good folk. I mean, you could make the argument that they're not that great, but they are generally good. But we're not going to get ethically. Whoa, oops! Did I change? I did. I accidentally double clicked. Oh wait, no, we're good. We're fine. Somehow my grid jumped and then jumped back. Kissed itself. Like James Brown. It's very much like James Brown. Like James Brown in that sense. I've known this grid for some time, and I've always thought that. I don't know where this bit's going. We're just gonna let it die, and it's dead. Yeah, I think we might have to narrow this. This is probably going to be super duper. It's gonna be completely joined at the bottom, and it's just gonna narrow to that point. So I think we just go ahead and fill this in. There you go. And then these two edges are gonna narrow to that point where it's just kind of solid at the bottom. Whether or not there's water in there, I don't know. I don't know what level the water is actually gonna be at. It's definitely gonna need to be. Oh wait, yeah, we're probably gonna have to come down a little further if we want water, because the water has to be basically up to the bottom of this tile, of these tiles. That's the highest we can make that water in good faith. Otherwise, it's gonna just look wrong. So here we can test it out here. Okay, so our grid is right there. So we want to go right up to that point. That's about as high as we can make it, and that is at the bottom of that. The very bottom. I guess that's fine. I mean, we don't really need to illustrate the rocks beneath the water. Or maybe we do. I don't know. Maybe we do. Maybe we just do it. Maybe we just shut up and do it already. Just shut your mouth. Just shut your mouth and do it. Sure. We can do that. We can shut our mouths and do it. But first we'll do this outline. If we feel like we need to, we'll come back and dip down. But we'll leave the water. We'll leave the water for now, just because it's another little reference for us to visually see. Otherwise, you know, we would auditorily see it, which is difficult, but it's possible. Daredevil does it. Daredevil does it. I can do it too. It's no big deal. Who's he think he is? Daredevil, man without fear in my ass. Cool. Yeah, we're just coloring inside the lines today. That's basically what today is. Coloring, not even completely inside the lines. We're keeping generally inside the lines, but if we go outside the lines, it's actually not the end of the world. In fact, it's good. It's encouraged. Hey, you Andromedus, what's up? How's it going? How are things in Sweden? We are building the keep. It's coming along. We're doing the cliff. We got water going on now, because we're trying to determine where the stream, not the stream, but the stream of water is gonna run through this chasm here. Yeah, it's gonna be cool. It's gonna be cool. It's gonna be real cool. Trust me. We're probably gonna have to end. Well, we're definitely gonna have to end up making this this kind of climb a little bit, give it a little bit more dimension, because it's we did make it climb a bit here, but this is going to be the very lowest point it can reach, and if it goes lower, that's just another stream, which is fine. That's just where the water table is, the groundwater. That's where it flows, baby. Throw that down there, that down there. Woo! Yeah, this, as we had stated before, the walls along here are most likely going to come out quite a good distance as they reach the bottom. Whoops. Whoa. Whoop. Lost my tile. There we go. Just randomly clicked on. Oh, did it again. What the heck? The hecky. Go and sure. But yes, Andromedus, we're on our new machine, so everything feels real good. We got our specularity fade back for TaleSpire. It's running at 100% capacity instead of the bare bones bottom least functionality that we had on our old machine. Getting colder again, a bit windy. Had to take care of some fallen trees. Oh wow, nice. Yeah, it's been getting warmer here. All the snow that we got before, it got destroyed. I guess that's the only way to put it. It just got wrecked, and it's pretty much all gone. So there was a lot of flooding. They had some issues with flooding in some of the southern states where I know West Virginia had some serious flooding. And of course Texas got hit with all that snow that they had no idea how to deal with, which is sad. And it's also like, oh God, coming from like being in Chicago, and of course I imagine being in Sweden, it's just like, really, you don't know how to deal with snow? It's snow. It just happens. You shovel it. You shovel it, you use salt, you yeah. It just, you just take care of it. That's what happens. But apparently, yeah, Texas, they hardly ever. I think the last time they had a big snow like this was like 10 years ago. I think I could be wrong. And I heard that they had had the same kind of issues that at that time, and everyone was like, "We should really prepare for this," and no one prepared for it. Which is sad, but also kind of no, it's not. It's just sad because so many people are just like out of a home, more or less. They have to deal with this, and on top of the pandemic, it's just ugh. I can only imagine. It's just a nightmare. But yeah, the weather in Chicago is on the uptick. Hopefully, it is for the rest of the world. I don't know what things are like in other areas. But yeah, it's been fairly nice here today. It is, what is it today? I think it was like 50 something right now. Ridiculous, something redonkulous. Yeah, 55 degrees at the, oh no, 63. Sorry, it didn't update. 63 degrees Fahrenheit. Bananas. That's spring. That's spring weather. It is March, but March is typically winter here in Chicago. It's usually winter until May in Chicago. You'll get snow up until like the 13th or 15th of May. It'll happen. And then all of a sudden June's like, oh, that's summer. There's no spring. It's just winter, then summer. All the doomsday prep. Yeah. I mean, so many people are like you see all the doomsday prep stuff. That they would have been a little bit better handling it. I mean, I imagine they're a very small percentage of the population. So those people are probably pumped. They're like, yes. All that stuff I spent money on, I'm actually using now. Yes. Oh god. Yeah, I saw like some of the. I forget if it was a reality show or just a mini series about this guy who goes around and just makes bunkers for people, like bug out bunkers and doomsday bunkers, stuff like that. And I imagine he's probably doing, if nothing else happened to him since that. I mean, who knows? He's probably making, he's laughing all the way to the bank. Because people are like, oh, I want one now. Oh, I want one now. Yes. I told you it wasn't crazy to build a bunker under our house. Who's crazy now? Yeah, I mean, things are bad, but I don't think they're bunker bad at this point. That might just be me. I don't know. I mean, I don't fear for my life. I just have a general existential dread. I usually do, but since last year, it's just been increased by 150%. Which sounds like a little, but I'm usually a very mellow guy, despite the dread. So it's a lot for me, and I'm sure other people are definitely coping with it better, and having issues coping with it, which is a serious thing. But for me, I had like not to bring anything down, but like when I had something really bad happen to me, so that's kind of like it's kind of been like armor for me. So because like everything after that is like that's the measurement. It's like, oh well, it wasn't as bad as that. It still isn't as bad as that. Couldn't drive to work and had to stay home for 2 days. Yeah. Some people are having harder issues. I mean, I had 2 jobs at the start of last year, and I lost them both because of the pandemic. But I just pivoted. I was like, all right, screw it. I'm gonna run D&D games from home, and I'm gonna start streaming. There. And I'm not really making money on the streaming part yet. I'm making a little bit of money running D&D, which thank God, and that's I'm pumped about that. And I always forget that I'm making money on it. Like I finish a game And I'm like just going, I'm like, oh, that was a good game. That was a lot of fun. And I'm like checking my email, and I'm like, because I run my game through Eventbrite, I sell tickets. And hey, there it is, just popped up on my thing. Eventbrite, Dyson Brews. I read Eventbrite. Oh, Streamlabs did. Thank you, Streamlabs, for the donation thing. I have that on automated. But yeah, I'm doing the through Eventbrite, and I sell tickets, and like I'll get the email like your payout is on the way. I'm like, oh right, I get paid for running that. I completely forgot. Which is kind of like the mindset you want to have. I mean, despite it's like if you, because I'm on unemployment, I don't make enough from running the games to actually, make a living. It's just like extra income at this point. So with that and still looking for a job and the stream, it keeps me kind of busy. So I mean, at least there's that. And I got, my wife and my 2 cats, not kids, cats, that kind of keep me busy as well, doing stuff. So it's not like I'm stir crazy. I am an introvert for the most part, so a lot of this has just been kind of like, meh. It's like, oh, you have to stay home. All right. I guess. I mean, I kind of want to go do something, but this has always been an option for me. Staying home has never been like, oh, it's always been like, okay, I can stay home. And I'm sure there are people out there that definitely unemployment in the States, it varies from state to state. I just watched a thing on this yesterday. John Oliver talked about it on last week tonight. And every state and the 3 principalities of, DC, Puerto Rico, and the Virgin Islands, they each have their own structure for unemployment. And it's a nightmare, depending on where you live. Apparently, Florida has the worst unemployment. And I think it was 10% of the people who are unemployed actually get to claim unemployment. Of the number of unemployed people in Florida, only 10% actually are able to claim unemployment. I mean, lots of people apply, of course, but only 10% of them actually end up getting unemployment benefits, which is ridiculous. Luckily, I'm in Illinois. It's pretty okay. It's not as good as I would be getting if I were working the job and the part-time job I had. But by that same sense, I'm not starving and I'm doing okay. I don't really have to worry, which is good. And it's kind of sad that the unemployment is actually sustaining me as well or slightly better than I would be if I were working 2 jobs and if my wife were also working 2 jobs. And we don't actually have a home. We have an apartment, and it's a small apartment. So with like rent and all that, and luckily we don't have car payments anymore. We paid off our car. It's just kind of mind blowing that the unemployment actually covers a good deal, and compared with actually working, it's like what the heck? What working doesn't give me a living wage. Somehow this is giving me a living wage, and this is like the first time I've had a living wage in a long time. So it's weird. It's like what is going on? Is this how much I'm supposed to be making? This is weird. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I had a pretty decent job. It was in graphic design, and I think, is this correct? Yeah, that should be right. That feels right. Okay. So yeah, I don't know. It seems like the state here in the States, it's not as efficient, I guess, as it might be other places. Definitely, because it was sort of I forget when it was put in place. I think it was after the Great Depression, when Social Security came into effect, and they basically they taxed businesses per employee for during the good times, so that when there were the hard times, you would have this sort of like rainy day thing for the entire country to get dole out to your citizens of your country and your states. But so many states were just interested in Haj Gulashi. So many states were interested in Haj Gulashi. Thank you so much for the resub, Mr. Haj Gulashi. Welcome to the stream. But yeah, it's just been for whatever reason, when it was put in place, days. More like 121.667 days. Yeah. Yeah. Sounds good. Sounds good. Over here, as long as you're in a union, you're guaranteed 80% of your past salary as long as you're looking for jobs for 300 days. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. And that's like it's nationwide, right? All over Sweden. That's the deal. It doesn't change depending on where you are in Sweden. It's just that. But here in the States, if you depending on which state you live in, you may or may not be screwed, which is really, really crazy. But yeah, it's been okay. I'm still kind of looking for jobs, and I think until things are 100% okay, I'm looking for like work at home stuff, because I can't afford to get sick, because my wife has immunodeficiencies, and if I get sick, she could die. If I get sick and get her sick, she could die. So it's very serious, and I definitely don't want that to happen. So we are 100% looking for work at home stuff. It can change with the union, usually around 70-80. Yeah, see, that's uniform. That's perfect. It's like you don't have to worry about, am I going to get covered? How much will I make? And that kind of thing. Yeah. It certainly sounds better than what's going on over here with this craziness. I don't know. I don't want to get political here. But I will say, I hope things are on the uptick from how they were earlier this year, or last year, or the past 4 years. Because it's been, Dad's so much can make some, immunodeficient. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, it's weird. I mean, like, a lot of people, they're like, "Oh, why should I wear a mask? I'm healthy." It's like, yeah, but a lot of people might not be, and you're just spreading it around, man. That's the problem. It's not that you won't get sick or you won't die if you get sick. It's that others will, or others could. But hey, I know it's a wild, wild world. I guess this is the way of writing that off. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see how things pan out. I have hope for things turning out good, and hopefully with the stream. Does the stream looking better? I mean, I can't tell on my end. Does it look, the image from the game look better than the last 100,000 streams I've done? It wasn't 100,000. It feels bad. It looks like my preview looks pretty good. I have hopes that my stream will do well, and I maybe I don't need to get a job. I probably will still need to get a job. Oh, we moved our grid. That's fine. That rock, that's fine right there. Oh, actually, do we want to... Maybe we come up another half step? There we go. And we're just gonna... We're gonna circle the wagons. Not wagons. We're gonna circle these rocky cliffs. Yeah, sure, that works. And we have to come... Well, I guess we can't really come in. Well, I guess we could as long as we go back out, right? There could be like rocky outcroppings and rocky alcoves as you go up the cliff, right? That's not unheard of. What do we do there? Nope, that's not what I wanted. That's what I wanted. Perfect. All right. I keep trying to build up, but I can't build up. I have to build across. Feels more crisp? Cool. Good. Good. That's what I'm hoping. I also adjusted my stream settings so that it upped the FPS and all that fun stuff. And I am not getting any dropped frames, which is good. To the dropped frames statement, I checked out Skyrim on here, of course, because of course we're going to be back on Saturday streaming some Skyrim. It'll be interesting to see something with more motion. I tested out Skyrim Special Edition on this machine last night, just making sure it worked. We're not going to be running Skyrim in Special Edition because, we will eventually, probably, but with the game we're playing right now, we won't, because we're trying to do achievement hunting, and we're already, leveled up to do that, and I can't transfer my data. Which sucks, but that's just the way it is. But with the Skyrim Special Edition, if you have mods on it, it turns off the achievements. So, which makes sense. It's kind of like hey, you're kind of cheating. I wouldn't call this an achievement. Which fair play. That makes sense. I went through and I reinstalled it on this machine. I used to have it on my older machine until the reason you returned it. Yeah, I mean, it looks gorgeous, but if you have mods on, it turns off your achievements, which whatever. I'm fine with. I'm about to do all the achievements on the basic one, so Sky UI. If you just have Sky UI, you have your achievements turned off, which is kind of, come on. That's kind of, Sky UI has become sort of it's a must-have. It's like it 100% improves the overall feel of the game. It improves the interaction with your inventory and everything. And it just should be in Skyrim. It should be in vanilla Skyrim. But it isn't. I don't know why. But it's not. To that end, when I was going through the mods and stuff, because I had to reinstall a bunch of mods on my base Skyrim game after I moved it over to the new machine. I had to go through and make sure I had everything. I did some serious auditing on my mods. Like, do I really need this one? Do I really need that one? And I got it all working. I think something might have not worked, or maybe the load order's wrong, but her face looks slightly different. I think it's her eyes. It's definitely her eyes and her eyebrows look different. And I might have to figure that out. But aside from that, everything else is good. Mod Workshop, you think they could greenlight? Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Like it was weird. Like some mods they got rid of. There was one that I played a while back that was called Worm's Tooth, and it was this whole like extra map, this other location, kind of like Solstheim with the Dragonborn mod. And it had like different ingredient things that you could get. It had different quests. It was really cool. And for whatever reason, I think Bethesda took it down, or like tagged it or flagged it or something. And I was bummed because it was really cool. But when I was going through and auditing my mods and, you know, reinstalling and finding them, it's back. So I reinstalled it so we can do Worm's Tooth, and I'm super pumped about that. It's really awesome, and I'm very excited about exploring Worm's Tooth again. It's a very impressive, mod too. Just the amount of content that's in it. But yeah, they should. A lot of the like that one in particular. I was surprised that they weren't just like, oh yeah, this is cool. Why don't we just make it an actual DLC? Hey, the person who made this, good on ya. Also, here's some money. Also, help us you can help us, you know, refine it and make it an actual DLC, and you get a cut of the door. Whatever we make on the DLC, you get a cut. I mean, it is our IP, but still, you made this cool thing. Incredible amount of mods that add new quests and locations. Yeah. I mean, I had one. There was one I had that I wasn't too keen on. I forget the name of it. But it felt a little rough. I think if they'd worked on it a little bit more, it was almost there. But like some of the textures, it was just kind of like, ooh, I don't know about that. I was like, not quite done. Put it back in the microwave. But yeah, there are a lot of really good ones. Like Worm's Tooth was definitely my favorite of the ones that I've come across. There was one that I uninstalled. Because I thought it was okay before, but I don't know. I kind of cooled on it. Yeah, I can definitely see that. They really should have had more of a support, encouraged creativity and rewarded it, honestly, and they didn't really do that. They kind of did the opposite. It's like, oh wait, this is too good. We're taking this down. I don't know what the story was with that coming down. It might have been something completely different. I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. For whatever reason, they pulled Worm's Tooth for a while, but it's back. So hey, that's cool. And we're gonna play it. We're gonna explore Worm's Tooth. I wonder if because one of the things that was in Worm's Tooth is they had a new smithing material. That apparently they didn't have enough room to actually add items that you could make with it, because you would find these ingots or ore and take it to a smelter and create the ingots, and when you take it to a forge, you couldn't do anything with it. So you get it's kind of like, oh, they're meaning to come back and add this, so I guess we should just wait. I hope they did that, because this was like what, 2016 maybe that they had this, and I think at that point I was playing it on Wineskin Wrapper on my Mac, so that was a super janky setup. So maybe there were just some installation issues on my end. I don't know, but that'll be neat to see. And I made sure to go into my Skyrim settings and crank everything up. Because I opened it when I was testing the mods and everything the first time, and it still looked real low res. And I was like, wait, what is going on? Because it did that thing where it detects your settings when you open it, and it's like, oh, your computer is this. I will run at this optimization, and it's usually pretty good about it. But for whatever reason, it detected my screen as smaller than it was. So it was just running in 800 by 600, but I was running at full screen on a 1920 by 1080. which looked real bad. And I was like, why does it still look so bad? But I fixed that, and it's now the correct resolution. So, and it looks pretty good. I cranked everything on it, as I said, so that it's basically it's taxing. Well, it's not really taxing this machine, but it's putting it through paces. It's making it do its job. I'll say that, because this is what I got the computer to do, and it's doing it. So there, it's like I'm gonna run every game at the highest settings first, and then only if there's an issue will I drop them down. I also got Fallout group was working on recreating Fallout New Vegas as a mod for Fallout 4. Oh, neat. That's cool. That's pretty cool. And it's still Bethesda, right? They're not really supporting that mod community there either. I'm assuming it's for all Bethesda games. They have the same general attitude. Yeah, that works. Throw that over there. Ooh, I need to zoom out a little bit. So that yep, there we go. I can actually collapse that. There we go. Now we can see. Yeah, that's a shame. That's a shame. I downloaded Baldur's Gate 3, and I played that a little bit, and it looks amazing. And again, that one I cranked all the way up, and it ran fine. So I'm feeling really good about my purchase of this machine. To know that it can run that game, because that's a newer game. So that was the one I was like, okay, if it can run this, no problem, then I'll know that this machine is legit. And yeah, sure enough, I had it cranked all the way up, and it barely flinched at all. It was like, sure, whatever. I also got another game called Satisfactory. I just kind of went on a Steam search. I was like, let's see, let's get a couple games. And I ended up getting 2 games. I got Baldur's Gate 3, and I got Satisfactory because it looked really cool. Basically the premise is you arrive on another planet, and you use the resources there to create a factory. Satisfactory's good? Awesome. Hey, awesome. Hey, thanks, Aaron Unsung. Welcome. Unless you've just kind of been in the stream, then thank you for being in the stream. Yeah, I'm looking forward to playing that. It looks cool, and it looks like a lot of fun. So I might end up playing that on stream at some point. I also have Carrion, which is fun, and that's kind of been. It's not a very high graphic game, but it is very cool. It's a sort of a pixel game, sort of. But it is very cool. When I first got it, I installed it on the Mac side of my old machine, and while I was editing video, I was just kind of playing it while the video rendered, and I was just like playing, and I look up and 5 hours had passed, and I was like, oh Jesus, okay, kind of got sucked in there. Kind of got wrapped up in killing people. My bad. I'm sure my wife loved that. I just kind of show up. I show up in the bedroom at 2 a.m. Sorry, hun. I kind of got tied up killing innocent people. You know how it is. She does know how it is. But yeah, I'm looking forward to running some cool games down the line. We still have our Final Fantasy 6 /3, depending on what you want to believe. But yeah, it's Final Fantasy 6 playthrough that we're going to be doing on Thursday, as well as Paper Mario, the Origami King, Thursday evening here. It's going to be 5 hours after our Final Fantasy stream. And then Saturday, of course, back with Skyrim with crisp new graphics, which should be pretty cool. And I think I have all the mods. I mean, again, as I'm playing, I'm probably going to come across something. Oh, we probably should. I forgot about that one. Should probably do that. Oh, and I found a mod for the Dawnguard plants. Planting the ability to plant Dawnguard plants in your planters for Hearthfire and stuff like that. Like you can plant them in your garden or your greenhouse. And you can collect them, at your whims, which is kind of neat. So we got like was it Poison Bloom, Gleam Blossom, Yellow Mountain Flower. What was there? Another one? Oh, Soul Husks. It does Soul Husks as well, because technically those are plants, which is weird. And it also introduced a handful of other plants like blueberries. What was the other one? Blueberries, garlic. You can plant garlic, elf's ear, and frost miriam too, which is really neat. Those are from vanilla Skyrim, but you could never actually plant them. You could just collect them, which I found weird. So that's kind of neat. Moon sugar, which is weird. It lets you plant moon sugar, which basically grows as sugar cane. Okay. I guess that works. So if I find a flower pot and I just pour a bag of sugar into it, and I cover it up and water it on a regular basis, I'm going to grow sugar cane, right? That's how it works. In America, first you get the sugar, then you get the money, then you get the power, then you get the women. That's what Homer says. That is according to Homer Simpson. And I'm inclined to believe him. I'm inclined to believe the man. Woo. It sounds about right. He is smart. SMRT. This is coming along nicely. Also, next stream, Thursday, I should have my camera working. I have it worked out that my webcam is going to be in the bottom left, inside that little window with the cherry blossoms in the rain. That's going to be my background, and you're going to see my punum. That's dirty. You're going to see my punum, my face, in the foreground, because I got my green screen going. I got adequate lighting. So it should be fun. It should be interesting to see me just kind of surreptitiously pick my nose and not realize it. And yeah, that'll be fun. I don't have it running today because I need to shave, and I look like a hobo. And I don't want to look like a homeless person on stream. I prefer not to. Oh, there we go. I mean, I have a home. Whoop. Alright. This is going well. Let's see. And once we do after we do this, we're gonna come back through and hit it with some of these other pieces like this, just to kind of split up the monotony, give it some texture, make it, so it's not all one note. So that should be that we will save for once we are completely done with the entire cliff face area stuff. So we're just having to come in up under this thing, like oop, beep, beep. Ooh, that's cool. Kind of reaches over. Yeah, that looks real good. Flip it that way. There we go. And technically, the fact that your background wouldn't be 1992 Dodge van Woodland Credence. Sure. They in fact have a home. Ignore the car doors And, oh, the spare tire. This is not out of my car. It's not in my van. So I have a green screen. To that note, I'm going to go fill up my gas tank while we take a quick commercial break. Don't go nowhere. We will be right back for more building things in TaleSpire with bricks and grids and tiles. Yes, that's the correct thing. All right, BRB. We're back for this. Let me go ahead and unmute TaleSpire. There we go. Haha. We're gonna do more building things. More building of things using things. And isn't that just the meaning of life? Sure. Let's go with that. That's fine. Let's see here. Yeah, I know this part of this part of the build is not particularly interesting. I mean, you could probably say that about the entire stream as a whole, but yeah, we're just kind of throwing rocks around, which, hey, isn't that just life? I'm just gonna use that analogy. I'm gonna use that what is it? Be an aphorism or a trite little thing. Isn't that just life? Let's use that for every little weird thing we say, and one of them eventually will stick. Whoops, that's not right at all. There we go. Alright, this one is at least we know there is a light at the end of the tunnel. Did we reach it? Whoa. Whoa! Come back. Kind of. We need to place maybe one more. Yes, one more. Like right about here. Should do it. And, one more. Like right there. Ugh, I should have turned it around. It's fine. We can just layer them. We'll just layer them. To be fair, all you have to do is mark the stream IRL and no one will question why you're in the Starbucks bathroom. Yeah, sure. Coming to you live from the Wilshire. I don't live in LA, but coming to you live from the Wilshire Starbucks. That's the one road that I hear all the time in TV shows and movies that take place in LA. Wilshire, going to the Wilshire, this and that. Going to the Wilshire Carl's Jr. Which I've seen. I've actually been to LA once in my life, and we actually stayed in a hotel on Wilshire. That was just down the street from La Brea, I believe. La Brea Tar Pits. And what we had assumed was only a few blocks from Rodeo Drive. Not Rodeo Drive. Was it Rodeo Drive? What was it? The Hollywood Boulevard, right? No, the one with all the stars on it. I can't remember the name of it. We assumed it was only a few blocks from that. We had a map and we were like, oh, that's only a few blocks. And we were trying to walk it, and no. It was a very hot day and very far. We did eventually get there, but it was not worth it. Oh my gosh. That was a time. That was a time. Okay. Oop. We gotta... Oh, actually, that's supposed to be there. That gap is supposed to be there. Alright. We're gonna do more of this. I don't know if anyone assumed that there would be something different. But I'm sorry to tell you. It's just gonna be more of this. Let's see. I'm down a half step. There. Maybe another half step. Boop. Cool. try to close this up here. Make it a gimmick to stream from every every Starbucks in America. Yeah, sure. Every Starbucks bathroom. Well, depending on your well, unless they have genderless bathrooms. You could just, man, to make it easy, probably just every Starbucks. Every Starbucks bathroom is going to be a little bit difficult. Okay, let's fill that in right there. Cool. Actually, let's do it this way. Yeah, that's much better. All right, cool. So the cliff face is coming along. We're gonna make this next section pretty steep for this, just this part. So we're gonna be directly making a couple's thing. Exactly. Oh man. Whoop. Whoa. About that. And there. And there. And there. Yeah. So I'm gonna have to come down another half step and fill in the gap between this row and the outer row. In some parts, it's gonna be, yeah, there we go, that's fine. But I want it generally to be pretty steep. That's too steep. That goes in. That's concave. That is extreme steep. That works. Oops. Whoop. Sure, that's fine. If some of it comes in a little bit, that's actually kind of cool. As long as it isn't like super far. Oop. Go. Whoop. And leave. Whoop. Is that up to? That's fine. Oh, actually, this might be even better. This might be a better angle. Look at this. Trying to do it the hard way. Look at this. This is perfect. Yeah. Of course, we are quickly running out of viewable space as our field of vision is narrowing quite rapidly. There we go. We're up under it. This is the way to do it. Whoa. Well, not that one in particular. Whoa. Let's try that. There we go. And one here. And here. Here. Flip that. Throw one here. And here. And whoop. This has become a... I'm sorry if anyone has claustrophobia. I'm not intending for this to be a whole thing. We can get out anytime we want. We're completely fine. We can get out anytime we want. See? There. We're out. I'm sorry if that triggered anybody. I have very mild claustrophobia. Like, in enclosed spaces where... specifically underground. I've never been, like, spelunking or you know, cave exploring or anything like that. But I get the sense that I would have a mild panic attack. Because just the thought of, like, going into this very narrow, unyielding space. That's the thing. It's stone. If you get stuck, you're stuck. And it's not going to be a fun time. That kind of gives me a mild panic attack. But for, like, just enclosed, like, in a room or in a closet, I'm just like, this is fine. This is nothing. Alright. So we're going to fill in this gap. I think maybe we do... Since we went around and we did the... Whoops. The outline of the keep on the bottom level, which is good. I think for now we're going to focus on the climb. And get that squared away. Let me come down another little bit here. Too far. There we go. And a little bit more. There we go. And down another half step. There we go. Perfect. There and there. Flip this, put it there. And oh, cool. I filled that in just right. And this one we will do like so. It's kind of filling in the gap. Cool. You've been once in their different difficulty levels in a fairly easy one, but felt a bit of panic near the end. This is how they recommend it. Yeah. I can definitely see the appeal. It is super cool, and I do like caves and stuff. I just get that little tiny panic, and it's like, what if you fall into a crevice and you can't move? That'll be the worst. Yeah, that would be I guess it's essentially not really claustrophobia. It's just being buried alive. That's the fear, right? It's just one step. It's just a lateral step from being buried alive, in my mind. So I guess that's my fear. I'm not claustrophobic. It's that, which I guess anyone, honestly, it's a rational fear, being buried alive. I mean, it's not a phobia. I'd like it if it wouldn't happen. I don't think I'm constantly going to get buried alive. It's just, if that presents itself as an actual possibility, then comes the fear. Which I think is completely rational. I don't know that I have any phobias. I don't know. I'm not afraid of flying. I'm not afraid of like any like phobias. I mean, of course, they're like fierce stuff. Like centipedes freak me out, but I'm not like afraid of them. Like they creep me out. How about that? But then I like that. It's a weird thing. It's like centipedes. I'm like, ugh, that's so cool. It's that kind of thing, which is really, I don't know what that is. It's a fascination, I guess. Oops, coming up too far here. There we go. You want to be right underneath. Yeah. There we go. Nope, too far. That'll do. That's fine. But yeah, I'm like clowns. I'm fine with clowns. I don't really care. They're more annoying than anything else. Like the clown phobia, I 100% understand, but because they are creepy. But and who's to say who's under that makeup? But I mean, especially if you meet them beforehand, before they get in a costume, it's like, okay, yeah. Oops, did not mean to undo that. Oops. That's fine. That works too. I guess that maybe the only one I have is, what is the fear of crowds? I have a very mild that. Is that xenophobia? I think that's xenophobia. If anything, I have a very mild that, which I think everybody has. Everyone who's an introvert has a very mild that. Like, I would prefer it if I were not in this crowd. And at a certain point, it becomes, I'm going home. I'm going home, I'm getting under the covers with some hot chocolate, and that is what I'm doing. I don't want to be at this club anymore. I never wanted to be at this club. I don't think I've been to maybe a hand. I could probably count it on one hand how many times I've been to a club in my life. Not for me. They're very loud, and I don't. Xenophobia is fear of strangers. Oh yeah, sure. That's just 2021, man. That's just 2020 and 2021. Xenophobia? That's a fear? That's a phobia? That's just life. Agoraphobia. Agoraphobia is the fear of crowds. I always get those two mixed up. But like concerts and stuff, I'm fine. Because, usually I'm going because I want to see the band. That's the draw. It's like, oh, I really want to see them. I'm willing to, be in this crowd to see this band. I haven't been to a concert in since not my birthday last year, but the year before. My friend actually took me to see Bon Iver, which was amazing. It was an amazing concert. One of the best I've ever been to. Alcam. Is it AI cam? What are you trying to say, Haj Galashi? What are you trying to say? But yeah, I went to see my friend took me to see Bon Iver, and it was pretty good. It was pretty good. Alex Cameron, yes, that's what you're trying to say. Alex Cameron. Yes, we did go see Alex Cameron. That was at the place in the round. It was like 2 years ago now, right? Yes, I believe so. It was during the winter, definitely. So I believe, yeah, it was a while ago. It was probably before I went to go see Bon Iver. But the most memorable thing from, yeah, I think it was 3. The most memorable thing about that, aside from Alex Cameron being great, was there were a group of guys directly across from us in the crowd on the other side of the stage who were very drunk and very handsy with each other, which I don't have a problem with, but they seemed like very dude bro-ish. Which seemed very, it's like, okay, sure. If that's how you guys express your love for each other, fine. Who am I? Who am I to naysay that? It was off-putting in the sense that it was unexpected. Not the act itself. The act itself was just like, oh, okay. Roy was clearly annoyed with their yelling. Yes, I definitely got that impression. Oh, he took it in stride, though. Man, this is the way to do this. This makes it super easy. Whoa, building things. Building things. Whoa. Building things. Whoa. There we go. Make sure we're... Ooh, wow, that comes out quite... Oh, I got a gap there I gotta kind of fill in. That's fine. We'll come back and do that. Whoa, lost my piece. I lost it somewhere. That's fine. You know, another way we could do this is if we just cut away everything. That way we can see, right? Whoa. Huh. Well, I guess it doesn't cut everything away. It cuts away the immediate area. Whoa, that's trippy. Alright. Ugh, yeah, we came in a little far. Hold on, let's see. Right about there. There. Yeah, I guess that's... Well, actually, though, that works better. I like that. Yeah, that'll work too. And there, and there, and there. But yeah, I going through and testing all the games that I play on this new setup. Final Fantasy still works fine, which is amazing because the emulator I have, I don't actually have to install anything. I just have it on my external hard drive and I just send it to my desktop as a shortcut, and I just click on it and it runs it. It just runs it. It's fine, which is pretty cool. I mean, it's Super Nintendo, so I guess there isn't a whole lot of super complicated stuff, relatively complicated stuff. So that still works. Final Fantasy is still A-okay. For Paper Mario, I used to have a very small monitor that I had hooked up through my Switch using a Genki dock for my my Switch, which is a thing that's Genki. They make a bunch of different hardware things for streaming things off of your Switch, and it basically splits the video. It lets me split the video from the Switch to a display and also to the capture card, which is what I use to stream it. So I used to have the display split to a very small monitor. Made some weird words there. Yeah, maybe I did. Maybe I'm making stuff up. But ooh, we're getting locked in there. But yeah, the Genki is very useful, and it is a real thing, Hajigalashi. But yeah, it definitely helps. But I used to have it split to a very small monitor, which is kind of difficult to see everything that was going on, and I am way too low for that. What's going on here? Yeah, let's come up half a step. Boop. and just backfill. What does backfill this? But now I have like the newer, the cool monitors that actually have HDMI hookups in the back and not parallel ports, and whatever the frick Mac had as some weird Thunder. Well, it was its own monitor, so it didn't need anything. It didn't need any kind of monitor output. But for my second monitor, I had it was like Thunder or whatever the lightning wire, whatever that is, to a parallel port converter, yeah. And then that's how I hooked up my other monitor. But now that I've got the new nicer monitors with HDMI, I can hook the output HDMI right up to the monitor, and I just switch the input on the back to the HDMI instead of the S port. So I have a nice big monitor on which I can play the game with no lag and not have to lean forward to make sure I'm seeing everything on the tiny little monitor that I had before. So I am excited about that. That is very good. And how low? I'm way too low. Here, hold on. Come up a lot. That's better. Okay, now we got it. Sitting over here, not knowing what I'm doing. Feel like I'm taking crazy pills. Whoa. Yeah, it's definitely a very, very welcome upgrade. It is my life right now. I do this machine is great. I am keeping it turned off because I'm afraid it's just going to ramp our electric bill to the stratosphere. So at night I'm sure to turn it off so that it isn't constantly running. I'm sure it's fine, but I'm just waiting for us to get the electric bill and be like, oh my god, we need to sell a kidney or something. Alright, so we backfilled that. Whoa, excuse you. Okay, so that is cool because now we have less of a circuit to make. You just come around from this point. All right, so let's pick a. I guess that works right about there. And we don't want it to be, because see, we have a bit of a gap there, and I'd rather there not be a gap, but we'll live with that. We will live with it. But if we dip down into the tile below, that eliminates the gap. And we're just going to keep building up. But yeah, as I said, I downloaded Baldur's Gate 3, played it a little bit. It took me an embarrassingly long time to figure out how to get to a certain place. Like early in the game, I got to a point where I was like, I don't know what to do. Where do I go? Where am I supposed to go? Until I figured out the jump function in the game. Because it's Baldur's Gate, it's all like turn-based RPG, D&D, in this instance, 5th edition. In the past, there was whatever edition was currently the sauce, currently the standard. The one thing that I took away from Baldur's Gate, this one, Baldur's Gate 3, your party is evil. I mean, arguably evil. I don't want to spoil anything. I don't want to spoil anything for anyone who hasn't played it or is planning on playing it. But there's a case to be made that each and every person you come across that you can invite into your party is evil. Just with whatever associations they have, or penchants, or mystical diseases they may have. they're arguably a bad lot. Just a bunch of ne'er-do-wells. And I made a very, because they just made Druid a playable class in Baldur's Gate 3, so I was like, all right, I'm gonna make a Drow Druid because I wanted to, a Drowid, if you will. Yeah, Larian sort of wants you to be evil. Yeah, I get that. I got that right from the get go. I got the impression that he wants to do a lot more to me than just want me to be evil, but that is also a thing he wants. Oh boy. Oh wait, that's I'm thinking of someone else. Asteron. It's Asteron? I think his name is something. Undertale. No, I haven't, but I do want to. That is on my wish list. I've been meaning to. Wish I should probably just pick it up. It's around like $5 now or something. Or it's been $5 off and on. And I've just been hit my mic. I've just been neglecting and getting it. I've seen the playthrough. But yes, I do definitely want to do that. Maybe we'll do Undertale. Maybe once we're done with Paper Mario, I guess, because I do have plans for the Final Fantasy thing. We're gonna go from 6 and we're gonna go straight to 7 once we're done with Final Fantasy. And I'd prefer to do the new Final Fantasy 7, like the remake, just because it looks pretty, and I would like to, use this machine instead of porting it into the machine through my PS2, which is still hooked up to this machine and it still works. But we'll see. We'll see how it ends up. But yeah, I've got Final Fantasies 6 through 10, like just here sitting in front of me. I can see them. I'm looking right at them, as well as Katamari Damacy, Shadow of the Colossus, Simpsons Hit and Run, that classic, and Gitaruman, which is a fun little sort of DDR kind of game where you have to make sure you hit a pattern. It's bonkers. Oops. Yeah, that works, sure. And then throw one right there. Alright. Cool. So we're gonna come back around from this point. So let's bring the guide / grid up a little further. A little bit. Right about there. That works. Shadow Colossus is up there with Alzheimer's. Oh yeah, contemplated getting a PS4 just to play the new full remake. Oh yeah. Yeah, I love that game. It's so much fun, even though it's so bare bones. It's just you and your horse and a bunch of lizards. There no other enemies aside from the colossi that you have to encounter and fight, which is enough. I might if they have it on Steam, I could probably get it and play it. If they have it, that would be cool. I haven't looked. Oh, it's only for PS consoles. Yeah, that kind of sucks. Yeah, I mean, I've got my PS2 version, which, the graphics they're not great. They're pretty good for the time. Definitely awesome for the time. For PS2, 100%. Yeah. And I also I've got a PS3, and which I could also hook up in place of the PS2, which would be easier because then I won't have to go through an HDMI converter. And I've got the reissue of Shadow of the Colossus and Ico that I could play on that, and I don't think the graphics are too improved. They're improved a little bit. But Ico, I think, was that for the PS2 or was that the PS1? I don't think I ever actually played that when it was out the first time. I think it might have been PS2. But Ico is just like a straight up puzzle game that I've even now only played a little bit of, because I got it and I was like, oh sweet, Ico, and I started playing it and I was like, yeah, let's play some Shadow of the Colossus. I just played Shadow of the Colossus, the Shadow of the Colossus side of that disc. The group who made them, yeah. Ever play the newest one? Oh no, is it Guardian something? I have not played that, but I've seen it. It looks amazing. And I think it was only for the PS4. So no, I only have a PS3 is the latest version, or the latest model. Last Guardian. Yeah, that looked pretty dope. And I just discovered that there was a playthrough of it that I have to watch, or want to watch. I don't know how far they get in it, but I will have to check it out. Oh, thank you, Streamlabs, for butting in there with a little self promotion. Looks sweet for sure. Need to check out CL for PS4. Oh yeah, maybe find one for like $40. Yeah, I mean now that PS5 is out, I imagine PS4s aren't gonna be super expensive. Maybe I'll just get every PlayStation and hook it up to this machine here, so I can just play PlayStation games throughout the ages. I mean, I still have PS1. What PS1 games do I have over here? Tomb Raider 2. Tomb Raider 2. Still in the jewel case. Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver. I played that a lot. That was fun. If you ever play a Legacy of Kain, I don't know if I forget what the franchise is called, but usually Kain the vampire is like the main character, but Soul Reaver is so much fun. It's a vampire game, so if you don't like vampires, but hey, vampires are what they are. But yeah, Soul Reaver was amazing and a lot of fun, and it is also sort of a puzzle game at times, but it's also like tactical combat, because you kind of have, during fights, you have to use your surroundings to fight your enemies sometimes, and just survive. And it's like, yeah, it's kind of like a revenge thing where you're fighting your old vampiric brothers after you've been dead for centuries, and sort of claiming their powers as you defeat them, which is kind of neat. So yeah, in that sense, you kind of power up as you go. And did I really come in a little too far there? Oh, actually no, that's kind of neat. I like the way that kind of juts out there at the top. Cool. So we'll come out a little bit here, but for the most part, that looks pretty good. And we're gonna come back through and add in little flourishes with these bits. It's like boop, too far, too much flourish, not enough flourish. Come on, there, kind of like that. In fact, I'm leaving that one there. But yeah, I'd like to do Final Fantasies on Thursdays, probably, and Tuesdays are gonna be this for the most part for a while, unless I add I think I might add a second stream for, possibly. Otherwise, I could just do series on YouTube where I play a game and then I just, post the videos in installments in like 25-minute or half-hour installments on YouTube. Which, yeah, it's a model. It works. You could do it. Of course, it's just going to be me talking to me about whatever. Just speaking into the void about random stuff. Which I don't know how entertaining that is, but hey, you guys are here, so sort of entertaining. Let's throw... Yeah, there we go. So now we just gotta shore this up. I think this is our last pass. Yeah. Sure. Okay, yeah. That one's fine. Alright, now we gotta come out a little bit. Yeah, there we go. And then kind of like that. We might want to add another kind of below that. Yeah. Sure. And then another one. That's out too far. Another one like that. Ooh, that's way too far. There we go. That's better. Now we're starting to get to the point where we're having trouble seeing exactly what we're doing on this inside curve. Whoa, there we go. And there, and there. Sure. Oh man, I have a feeling that I missed a bit over here. Hold up. Whoa, too far. There we go. Up a little bit more. There. Okay. Well, that's fine. Did I miss a bit under here? Oh yeah, there's a seam. We got a seam. Or maybe we just didn't come out far enough. That's fine. We'll probably have to fill that in a little. We'll fill it in when we come back through doing the touch-ups and the little bits and bobs. That's easy enough. But this we do have to take care of. This is an actual full-on gap. All right, and this is a good vantage point to take care of that. So we're just gonna do that. Take a look. All right. Yeah, that's pretty good. Maybe we throw one more down right about here. And there we go. I dare say that that is complete. That pathway up to the keep is complete. Mostly. Cool. Yeah, we're just going to come back through and add a bunch of these little things here and there. But for the most part, we are golden. I do have to... I neglected building this out. This is supposed to wrap around to, like, here. But that's fine. We can just build up into that. Do we want to do another little... Maybe we can use this. And come on. Like that. And then like that. Well, kind of. It doesn't exactly do what I wanted. Maybe I gotta come down to... See, that's the issue. That. The gap right there. So if we take this and do one of these. There we go. Now that looks seamless. It looks like a plausible cliff face. Boom. Awesome. All right. This is very hard. Hold on. This is very harsh light. Let me see if I can... What's this? Create GM block? No. Fog multiplier. Oh, exposure. That's what it is. Hold on. Go back to where it was. Turn the exposure down a little bit. There we go. No post. Ooh, what kind of post effects? Enchanted. Ooh. Bleach? No. No thanks. Isolate Red is neat for, like, intense scenes because all the torches look super, super red now. And the roofs. It's like, oh my god. Very dramatic. But we're not going to do anything. Not right now. But yeah, TaleSpire has a lot of really neat little tools to immerse your players. Very neat. It's very cool. They do not sponsor this stream. Should get that out there. I should really remember to do that at the beginning of the stream. But whatever. Here we are. Here we are talking about it now. All right. I think I can remove these crates since we've kind of established everything. So we're good there. Yeah. Are we okay down here? That is a good question. Thank you for asking it, me. You're welcome, me. That's what the episode streams would be. Or not streams, the episodes on YouTube would be. Just me talking to myself. Like a jerk. Let's see. Jerk stream, exactly. Exactly what it would be. Thank you. Thank you. For jerks. Exactly. That's what it would be. It would be a jerk stream for jerks. You get it. All right. So, with that complete, we are going to start. That must wait. I'm here, and I get it. That must mean. Hate to break this to you, Haj Galashi, but oh god. All right. Let's you know what? I always knew. Who am I kidding? Exactly. Let's try this. Let's go down a little bit, and we'll build out the rocks below the water. Whoa. Let me make sure I'm in the right angle here. Okay. There. That gives me the best vantage point. And am I low enough? I am. Okay. And these are ending up partially underwater. Good. That's what we want. Sure, that's fine, I guess. Yeah, okay. Can't zoom out too far or all of the... Oops, that is not out far enough. That's out too far. Some would say that's out way too far. That works, that's fine. And one here. And here. And here. So now the question is, what happens to this stream after it comes out of this like little crevasse? Does it become an actual stream? Does it empty into a lake? I guess those are questions that I gotta ask myself. Not right now. But, I mean, I don't want to be bugged with that shit right now, but eventually. Yeah. Let's see. And it kind of comes through there. That's fine. So I'm guessing it's just like a river, right? It's gonna come from like this direction and just flow up that way. I don't have my PDF window anymore, do I? I don't. That's fine. That's just fine. uh, we're kind of done with the whoops, the reference anyway. We don't need it. We don't need it. So now, all right, Andromedas, thank you so much for hanging out. Yeah, and hope to see you Thursday. We're gonna play some more Final Fantasy, and then eventually in the evening we'll play some Paper Mario, and I'll ruin my voice with some more Toads. Last time I played, there were no Toad voices to be done, thankfully. So that only means that this Thursday there's going to be a bunch, and I'm going to ruin my voice. That's just how it is. That's just how it's going to be. All right, so I guess we'll start here and just oh, we have to work our way into this crevasse. All right, let me do that and doot and doot and doot and doot and doot. That seems about right. Yeah, sure. And whoop. There and yeah, sure. And there. Okay. Cool. And then it's probably going to come more or less straight up from that, or maybe in a little bit if we can. Or out a little bit if we can. Yeah, we can come out a little bit like here. But this is more or less going to be straight up. Cool. Alright. Let's drop one of these down here. Or not. No. Yeah, that's fine. And, oops. Actually, we forgot to, do clipping. Oh, that's why we didn't do clipping. Because we're at the wrong level. Get on my level. There we go. There. About there? No. Yeah, sure. And then... Nope, that sticks out too far. Yeah, I guess that's fine. Yeah, that works, actually. Alright, we'll go back to the... back to this thing. And... Whoops. Keep this pretty straight along that path. Yeah. And this one... It's kind of tricky. There we go, and that, and whoops. Yeah, that's fine. So there's that. Okay. We're going to come up to just under the tops of those. And keep going up. Yeah, this crevasse doesn't have any water in it. It's just Just a crack in the rock, I guess. A butt crack, if you will. A crack in the butt. A cleft. A cleft in the rock. There we go. Sure. I guess that's fine. But yeah, I'd like to either do a series that's just, you know, pre-recorded, and just post them up on YouTube, or I could add a stream on Tuesday afternoons. My Tuesday evenings are otherwise occupied with Dungeons and Dragons, so that I can't do the same kind of thing that I do on Thursday. But my Dungeons and Dragons game on Tuesdays is usually pretty late, so I have a little bit of time in there where I can actually feasibly, you know, have a meal, maybe do an errand, or a chore, I guess it would be. I don't really run many errands nowadays. Like, yeah, do the dishes, or play with the cats, or one of those things. You know, see my wife, who I haven't seen in years. Do one of those things, and then still, you know, have energy for, for, you know, the stream and all that fun stuff. So we need to come up and out a little bit in that corner. I think I might just leave this right like this so I can see what I'm working with. I think this works well enough. So if I come out one step, okay, if I do that, ooh, perfect. That looks good. What if we do this? Yeah, I'm like, I don't know. I'm toying with the idea of doing an additional stream on Tuesday because I mean there's so many games that I want to play. I'm debating whether or not I actually want to play Baldur's Gate on stream. I mean I'd like to, but I don't know. I don't know if there's really. I don't know if I would just be white noise at that point. So many people are probably playing it. And it's just kind of like, oh, it's just someone else playing Baldur's Gate 3. I kind of want to play older cool games and games that I like. And because not a whole lot of people, not a whole lot of people are doing TaleSpire. At least usually when I change my stream tags and I change it to TaleSpire and I see that no other people are playing TaleSpire at that moment, it leads me to believe that not a whole lot of people play this or stream this. I mean, to be fair, it is in beta, so not a whole lot of people have access to it. I was lucky enough to get it from Z, good old Z Bashu, because he wanted to run his games in it, and he has run his games in it, and they're amazing and fun. So if you're interested in seeing some actual games run in TaleSpire, you can check him out on Sunday, twitch.tv/ZBashu, and I will be playing some Dungeons and Dragons instead of running Dungeons and Dragons, which is usually the case. So it's a nice change of pace for me. Yeah. And there. Sure, that's fine. Here we got to get a little bit nutty. Sure, I guess. And there it is. Cool. And And this again. And cool. There we go. Whoops. And then we just have... Yeah. Wow. That is precariously narrow. Let's just do that. And is there a gap there? There is. Let's fill that in. We'll use this guy. Does that even do anything? I can't see it. There we go. That's what we were trying to do. Cool. All right. So that's one section that's completely joined. Good. Let me actually do this as well. Yeah. And then another one here. Nope. Too far out. How about here? Too far in. How about like this? Nope. This? No. How about... Oh, here. Let's try this. How about if we just do one of these? Nope. Can't see it. Alright. That? Nope. How about that? No. Alright. I give up. We'll fix that once we get around to that. Back to that point. Oh, it's time for our second ad break. Let's go ahead and do that. My Stream Deck, I think there are some buttons I gotta fix on it. But I'm gonna press this button, and hopefully it's gonna transition from this to the bumper page, or the bumper scene. We'll see. But then after that, we'll be back with more TaleSpire. Be right back. We're back. Yeah, I do have to fix the buttons on my Stream Deck, particularly the scene buttons. Everything else seems to be working. The scene buttons aren't actually transitioning the scenes, which makes sense because I had to import all of the settings from my other machine to this machine, so I had to reconnect some stuff, and I didn't reconnect those for whatever reason. That's fine. That's fine. So here we are. We're back to building this cliff face out a bit, and we'll see how far we get here. Let's see here. So this is completely done. The pathway leading up to the fortress or the keep. Sorry, the keep is the thing as a whole. The fortress is specifically this building. This is the fortress. The thing as a whole is the keep. Right. Gotcha. Oh, we can delete these crates as well. Not copy them, delete them. Thank you. Kind of in the way at this point. Keeping me from seeing things. Alright, so I think we're going to start at the drawbridge and work our way around. We gave ourselves a little gap or stopping point here that we can just kind of work to. So we can basically just work from the drawbridge to this point, I think. And that will be the rest of this stream. The next hour is just filling this in from around here, around this bend to the drawbridge. Sure. You got to split it up into manageable chunks. Otherwise you go crazy. Alright. This is good. Alright. So we're going to come up pretty steep here. And we might actually go in a bit. Make it a little concave. Just to kind of make up some room here. Don't want to go too narrow because we want to actually see. That's going to be a pain in the butt. We want to actually see the. Actually, here, let's cut away. You gotta zoom in. There we go. Now we're cooking with gas. We do actually want to be able to see the water at the bottom of this ravine. So we don't want to obscure it with too many rocks. I think as long as we don't go out from the level below, I think we're in good shape. We can just gradually come up in some spots, and I think it'll be fine as long as we don't climb outward. We're good. Okay. Throw that one right there, and like that. Cool. How does that look? That looks pretty good. Pretty good. Let me actually do that. There we go. All right. We'll come up a level and do the same thing again. Like right about there. Sure. Yeah, in order to make this kind of seamless vertically, we're just, using clipping, only coming up. Well, that's not very far at all. Let me come up another half step. We're kind of overlapping the tiles just to make sure it's nice and seamless. Probably want to do that. Yeah, there we go. And boop. Boop! Sure, but also that? Sure. Okay. That works. Oops. There, yeah. We wanted to keep coming in slightly, but not out. I think that's fine, and that's fine. And trying not to point in with these tiles a lot, because again, we gotta make a dungeon underneath underneath this beast. There's gonna be a dungeon, and that's gonna be fun. Alright, that's fine. Okay, let's come up another bit, like right about there, I think. Make sure it is at a decent level, and also make sure that we're coming out over here. Can't ignore this area. We could probably stand to come up another half step. There we go. That should be good. Whoa. Yeah, one thing I've noticed, I don't know if it's just because of my habits during all of this, or all this being the pandemic and being quarantined, is I'm not listening to as much music as I used to. I'm still buying music like left and right, but like my opportunities for like listening to it, maybe it's just because I'm doing so much like streaming where I'm actively talking, like where if I were playing this, just doing this on my own, not streaming it, I'd be listening to music. I mean I am technically listening to music, but I don't think TaleSpire music counts. It does count. It's music, and I love this song. The Wizard Smoke is the jam. It slaps. It 100% slaps. But like new music has come out, and I'll listen to it, like the album, a couple times. Like the new I don't know if people listening might be familiar with the artist. I know Haj Galashi is. Tobacco released a new album I can't remember if it's a new or a re-release. It might be a re-release, but he just released an album, re-released it on vinyl, and I bought it, and I got the audio or the MP3 files like right away on Bandcamp, and I have yet to listen to it. I was like, oh sweet, and I just bought it, and it was like right before I went to bed or something, and I remembered it just as I was doing this. I was like, oh yeah, we still have to listen to that. But yeah, I'm like not listening to as much as I normally would, because like even like driving to work, I would listen to music. While I'm at work, I would listen to music most of the time. I would have like my wireless headphones on and be, as I'm plugging away at whatever, I'd be listening to music or podcasts. But it's yeah, I guess it's just I am doing other things where I am active. I'm more actively having to be the entertainment as opposed to listening to the entertainment, which is odd for me. I mean, usually I'm like listening to music like constantly. I have been finding a few things new things that I like. I discovered Kishibashi, who's kind of neat. Particularly his cover of "This Must Be the Place" by Talking Heads. It's a orchestral string cover of "This Must Be the Place" by the Talking Heads. It is amazing. I love it. It's my new favorite thing in the world. I'll just like that song in particular. I'll just play. I'll just be like, oh, well, I'm gonna play this right now. And I'll just play it. I can't play it on stream, of course, but you know, whatever. It's a great song. I do love it. Ooh. And I highly recommend that and Kishibashi as a whole. He's good. He does good music. He does good music. And I recommend tobacco too. If you like lo-fi, it's very hard to explain. Lo-fi hip-hop-esque beats, but if you were having a nightmare of it. It's lo-fi hip-hop beats from someone's nightmare. There you go. That's the easiest way for me to describe tobacco. Yeah, it should be good. That should be fine. Yeah, cool. Yeah. Oops. We're gonna come out a little bit here. Ooh. A little precarious there. A little precarioso. That is not Spanish, sir. What are you doing? What are you doing? Peligroso? That's Spanish. Precarioso? That's nonsense. All right. Let me flip that one. I don't like that. That's better. All right. Cool. Excuse me. Oh, it looks like we closed the gap there. Oh, we did. We didn't even notice. Look at that. Let me get rid of this grid so I can see a little better. Oh, and maybe move this up so it doesn't disappear. Yeah, there we go. Oh, we're probably going to want to come out a little bit. Just so we can kind of like soften the edge here, which is fine. We can do that. Let me bring the grid up a little bit, right about there, and then we'll just maybe there. That's fine. And then we'll see how this place is. Nope, too high. Way too high. Down. Still a little too high. Down like maybe full step? One full step. We'll try full step. See what happens. Yeah, there we go. That's more what we're looking for here. Just fill that in. actually, that was fine. I don't know why I undid that. There. All right. Oh, I see what we did. We came up on a grade with this, so we're gonna have to come up a little bit with these, which is fine. Just kind of fleshing this out a little bit so it's not such a harsh transition. Ooh doo 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 doo. Whoa! Talk about harsh transition. Yeah, maybe okay. So now we just need to come down from here in an elegant manner. So let's come in halfway to there. I think this is all basically, those are all basically on the same level. And I guess we just keep using this, right? Oh, we can flip it around like that. There. Yeah. Cool. That actually works. All right. Cool. And then one here. Yeah. And then here. Sure. And here. About. Yeah, that looks a lot better. I think I can live with that. We do have this weird gap here that we want to... Let's actually take these and see if we can... Ooh, perfect. Actually, let's come down a little bit. And then do it. That way it's kind of melding with the rock below. Whoops. Nope, that's out too far. If we do... Nope, in too far. Still in. So I just need to... Oh, there we go. That's better. Alright, I think that will take care of that seam that we were seeing. Yeah. And maybe a few more over here. Like that. And how about that? Try this. How's that look there? That looks like it doesn't work. Nope. Stabby Rogue with a subscription. 6 months. What the shiz, man? Thank you. Thank you so much, Stabby Rogue. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. Oop. Nah, not gonna do it. That's not working out. Let me try that. Okay, there we go. That I can live with that. How about the nope? How about... Oh no, he's got the emotes. We've given him too much power. We spent so much time asking whether we could, we never stopped to ask whether or not we should. I guess that just is what it is. That's fine. I'm just gonna leave that. Alright, cool. Now I will take over the world. Maybe just get Taco Bell. That sounds good. Get some fourth meal, man. Get that fourth meal. Oh god, the whole fourth meal campaign. I don't understand it. I don't get it. I mean, I get it, but come on. 9 out of 10 doctors say you should have a fourth meal. So we have the chasm there, where the missing some tiles. There we go. You have the chasm there. That's all good to go. Cool beans. We are going to continue to just eat Taco Bell in order to... Yes! Oh my god, that is the classic. I'm like, I'm hungry. You only ever get Taco Bell when you're like, you're hungry, you don't want to wait, you don't want to cook, and you're like, I'm so hungry, I could literally eat everything on this menu. Well, not for me, I don't eat red meat. So, my selections at Taco Bell are very limited, but that which I do have access to, or that which is an option, I'm like, I could eat like 8 of those, and then I get like through 1.5, whatever. I get a Crunchwrap Supreme with black beans instead of beef, which is awesome, by the way. You should definitely try it. And whatever else, like a nachos or something. And then at the end of it, I'm just like, I'm done. And I ordered like 2 other things, and I'm just like, I'm not gonna eat these. I can't eat these. What was I thinking? I've made a huge mistake. Let me see if this will work. Do I have... Oh, here we go. Will it work?
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, if you get it with black beans instead of beef, it's good. I mean, I haven't had actual taco meat in decades at this point. Literally 2 decades, I think. Coming up on 2 decades. And I don't miss it. Oh, Streamlabs, we're having a conversation. Go away. Go away, Streamlabs. Let's see here. Do. Yeah. And then another do here. Nope. Do. That kind of works. Awesome. Dang it, talking about Taco Bell, now I'm hungry. If you haven't eaten taco meat in 2 decades, you're winning the game, my friend. Yeah, I try to. I'm trying. I mean, I still eat cheese like it's going out of style. So, little victories. The only actual meat I eat is fish. Fish and shellfish, stuff like that. I don't eat octopus or squid out of respect because they're very smart. I'm like, oh, you're too smart. No, I don't. I'm not going to eat you. You have intelligence, my friend. Well played. You are not to be eaten. Because I know that as soon as when their alien brethren revisit the planet, they're going to look badly on people who eat. But then it was weird, but they found like alien DNA in octopi and squids, or was it just octopi? It might be squids too. I mean, they're close enough. Although I only ever really hear about octopi being incredibly smart. Squid, I'm not so sure on. I haven't heard any particular stories about very smart squid. They might exist, I don't know. But I'm like, I hear stuff about, like, my friend, one of my friends used to own an octopus in an aquarium, and it was so smart that it kept getting out of the aquarium, like lifting the grate and climbing out. And he would find it like in the middle of the floor, like suffocating. He'd be like, "Oh God!" And it eventually managed to get out of the aquarium and then like through out a window and like outside on a roof, and I think it died if I remember correctly. But which is sad. Yeah, octopi they got brains, man. I read a health article recently saying that said cheese is at worst neutral for you. Well, that's good. That's at least I'm okay with that. Neutral is fine. But it might be that thing with eggs, like they can't decide whether eggs are good for you, they're bad for you. Just the white parts are good, just the yolks are good. That kind of debate that's been going on for frickin' decades. And and the weird thing is, I'm okay with cheese, but we don't drink milk. We drink oat milk. I don't know what it is. Regular milk, I kind of lost the taste for, and it didn't make sense to me. Although for whatever reason, cheese does make sense. Uh, but like in its base form, milk is meant for baby cows. In my mind, that's my opinion. And for humans to drink it just seems kind of weird in its base state. If you don't do anything to it, if you don't dress it up, if it's just milk, I mean, of course you pasteurize it. And I don't know if I would go so far as calling pasteurization dressing up milk. I would say that's the bare minimum you need to do to milk to make it milk. It just didn't appeal to me anymore. I was just like, I got other options. And I mean, I did soy milk for a while, and I didn't really like soy milk, but I did it anyway. And then almond milk I did for a long time until I was like, oh, almond farming is horrible. So I stopped doing almond milk, and I'm on oat milk now. And oat milk, honestly, has been the most, I guess, the closest analog to actual milk. Or maybe it's just been so long that I don't remember what actual milk tastes like. That's completely likely. But of the fake milks, it's been my favorite so far. And hopefully, fingers crossed, there's no debilitating agricultural and ecological backlash for the creation of oat milk. But hey, who knows? You do the almond milk and cereal, but most of my friends drinking oat milk. Yeah, oat milk is the jam, as far as I'm concerned. I'm just hoping that there's no no ecological backlash for the creation of and distribution there. Well, aside from carbon footprint, whatever, of oat milk. You're gonna get that with any milk. Yeah, it has the mouthfeel. Exactly. Yeah, Chobani actually makes an extra creamy oat milk, which is pretty neat. I think Chobani and Oatly. Is it Oatly? I think it is Oatly. They both make an extra creamy oat milk, which is like, oh, this is like frickin' vitamin D milk. This is the jam. Don't give me that 2%. Oops. There we go. Oh, what did I watch yesterday? Oh, I watched the Tenacious D HBO series, which is honestly a mini-series. There were only 3 or 4 episodes. But it was before they hit it big. And they're so young. Oh my god. Jack Black and Kyle Gass and that they especially Jack Black. Kyle Gass always kind of looked like a dad since I've known about them. So he still looks kind of like a dad there, but a younger dad. But Jack Black looks so young in these episodes, and you can tell since it was on HBO, a lot of the production, a lot of the writers, and a lot of the actors came over from Mr. Show to work on this, and it's hilarious. It was so that time. I mean, a lot of it now it is very like some of the things they say is kind of like ooh, and some of it might be like come on, you don't really need to say that. But at the time it was really funny, and for the most part they don't do that. There are a couple times here and there. It's just kind of like, I really wouldn't want to say that nowadays. But it's a funny show, and a lot of the songs that are on the show make it on that first album that they put out, which in college was like one of the most quotable things, at least when I was going to college, which might age me, of course, but whatever. But yeah, it was a funny show. It was one of those things that I remember seeing back in the day when it was on the air on HBO, but I only caught like a few episodes, and I would quote those episodes because it had made such an impression on me. But I had not seen it since, and I did not know how to access it. But now, thanks to everything being connected with the internet and streaming TV and all that, it's more accessible. And I need to come way out here. This this cliff face here is definitely a little further out. Gotta watch more things. Hey, yeah, some people, yeah, you know, it's not a flaw to be missing shows and stuff. If anything, it's a what's the opposite of a flaw? It's the opposite. Yeah, I mean, TV is an optional thing. It's not. I mean, sure, it's a societally, it's you know, it's what people talk about, just because, especially nowadays, because what else are you gonna do? But you know, I mean, you should never feel like, oh, I'm missing out. I mean, there are some things, arguably, that are like, you need to watch this, but you never actually literally need to watch anything. All right, we're about to make our first. Oh, I think we just did make our first circuit here. Yeah, to the draw. Yep. All right, we don't need to. Well, to fill in that little gap. There we go. All right. So we only have what? How many more passes do we have to do before that's filled in? Huh. Gee, I don't know. 5, maybe. Over here it's going to be more because it climbs a little bit toward this tail end. Yeah. So maybe we do another a section. We section it off a little bit. Let's see. Maybe if we come over to here. Maybe. Yeah, thanks. It's coming along, and it's going quicker than I anticipated. But I can definitely see us having to do this for at least half another stream. I mean, we got another 20 minutes here, so I'm gonna do this next section out to this tower, and or this tower of crates, and this actual tower, and I'm gonna fill that in, and that'll leave like the brunt of it for next time, which should be only half the stream, maybe. And I'm not gonna bother coming back in and touching up the cliff face with little flourishes of these things, like I said I've been going to do. We're not going to do that just yet, although I just did one right there, but that's fine. That was part of this build. We're gonna do that after we complete it, and probably after we do the dungeon. Just because, you know, I wanna do the dungeon. The dungeon's gonna be the fun part. This is fun in a sense that it's completing the map, and you get to see a more complete picture of what this is. And in a sense, we're realizing the vision of Mr. Gary Gygax, right? This was his creation. So we're just making it 3-dimensional to the best of our ability with the limited tools we have. And I wouldn't exactly call TaleSpire limited. I mean, of course, it has its limitations, but it's amazing. It's an amazing tool, and it is allowing us, if anything, it's not limiting us. If anything, it's allowing us to do many things we could not do before its existence. And pop one there, and how about one coming out like that, and how about one coming out just like that, and actually a little further, because I gotta fill in that area. Okay. How about like that? There we go. That's what I was trying to do. Alright. Might want another little thing like that. Perfect. There we go. Okay. Gonna come up about there and make another pass. Yeah. and we'll fill in this this section. Hopefully by the end of this stream, we'll see. Oh, one other thing that we've been watching here at the Casa de Vaporlock. Douchey way of putting that. So one of the things we've been watching here. Sorry about that. Another thing we've been watching here. They just released the Muppet Show, the old episodes on Disney Plus. So we've been getting reacquainted with that. And it's pretty good. I mean, that show is definitely it was a variety show. So in a sense, it was very much of the time, but in a lot of ways, it was very much ahead of the time. In a lot of its views, for one thing, Jim Henson was, if anything, a very progressive person, which is really great, and it's cool to see a lot of that in his work and in Frank Oz's work. And it's a shame, and it was something that I didn't realize until I started rewatching the show. The Muppet Show, the original Muppet Show, was syndicated to the United States from Great Britain because Henson tried to get it made here in the States, and no one would bite. None of the networks would do it. So he went across the pond and tried to get it made there, and they were like, yeah, sure. I mean, I'm sure it wasn't that simple, but they were at least receptive to his idea enough to make it. Yeah. So all of the original Muppet Show was filmed in Great Britain, and then it was syndicated to the States. That's why a lot of the early guests are British celebrities, like a lot of them, or international celebrities, which is kind of neat. And I never knew that before, but it makes sense. And that's how he met Frank Oz and Brian Froud and all that, which is part of why the Labyrinth happened, which was awesome. Because Brian Froud was British, and he did all the character designs for the Labyrinth, and I think also the Dark Crystal. So, hey, if the U.S. hadn't looked down their nose at a puppet variety show, we never would have had the Labyrinth or the Dark Crystal or anything like that, or at least not in the form that we know it today. So I guess it was fate. I guess you could call it that. You could call that fate. The closest thing to fate that you could categorize, I guess. Yeah, it's pretty neat. And yeah, a lot of the early guests were British. There were some American talent thrown in there, like Florence Henderson. I know was in an episode. But the very first guest, and I think this is it, unless they're playing them out of order. Because I hit play, like the first time it came on Disney Plus, I hit just to play in order. And the first guest was Rita Moreno, who was she sang Fever. Fever, When You Hold Me Tight. Fever, that song. I'm not going to sing it, because I'll get copyright struck. But she did that song, but she was the first guest. And I'm pretty sure that was the first episode. But when I went back and we went to pick it back up and play it some more on Disney Plus, the episodes were out of order. I don't know what was going on, because like it put episodes that we hadn't seen yet like at the top of the queue, and then episodes that we had already watched like further on. So it rearranged them. I don't know what's going on, but as far as I know, Rita Moreno was the first guest on the first episode. And one thing you notice from the early episodes, it took them a while to nail down Miss Piggy's voice. Because you can tell sometimes Frank Oz is doing it, sometimes Jim Henson is doing it, and it's a different thing both times. It's a completely different voice. So I don't know if they were just messing around with some ideas before they nailed it down, but it was definitely a work in progress for those first few episodes. Yeah, because sometimes it's kind of like, oh, Kermie, what's going on? And eventually it reaches the Kermie, that kind of thing. But that's more of I think that's when Henson, was it Henson or was it Oz that did it ultimately? I think Frank Oz did it ultimately. I might be wrong about that. But yeah, one of them finally was like, "Oh look, I'm just gonna do Miss Piggy. I'll do her voice, and from here on out, just to kind of get it down and nail it down, nail down a definitive voice for good old Miss Piggy." And it never gets old when Miss Piggy gets angry and does karate. It never gets old. That's comedy gold right there. What? Oh, the other thing that we sort of, or at least the thing that I arrived at, the idea, or at least the realization. There it is. That's the word I'm looking for. That I arrived at watching these old episodes is that pop music in the late '70s, early '80s was about as and I've said this before. Pop music in the early '80s, late '70s was about as compelling as beige wallpaper. And thank God for rap and punk, because good God. Like some of the musical guests they have on there is just kind of like, wow, this is boring. This was popular? When was this popular? And oh my gosh, Hall and Oat Milk. But oh my gosh, the no, Hall and Oates was is definitely is contemporary compared to that, compared to a lot of the guests they had, because they had, when Florence Henderson was on, she did a number. That was kind of odd. Paul Williams, have you heard of Paul Williams? I'd be surprised if he had. He was apparently a composer and a songwriter and a singer back in the '70s and '80s. Yeah. A lot of it, I guess, has to do with also with MTV, right? The advent of music television and music videos. Because before that, you could look like whatever and be a recording artist and a star. Because most people didn't know what you looked like unless they had your picture on your album cover, and even then, it's like, oh, yeah, he looks like a dude. Whatever. I don't really care what he looks like. This is what he sounds like, or this is what she sounds like. But like, yeah, once MTV and music videos came along, a lot of the recording artists that didn't particularly look great found themselves a little at the disadvantage. It's like, well, if I have to watch you sing your song, you better not look like a goof. Unfortunately, there were a lot that actually kind of looked like goofs. So that kind of has to do with a lot of the transition from some of the music that was popular then to what became popular eventually now. But yeah, Paul Williams was exceptionally short, and they played up on that a lot in the episode. He's a very short man. I think he's still alive, actually. I might be wrong. But yeah, he's a composer, and I knew him from when I was a kid. Oddly enough, there was I don't know what I think it was just we used to rent the video from the library, because our library rented VHS tapes. Does that age me as well? The fact that I used to watch things on VHS when I was a kid? Probably. Anyway, there was a movie, but it felt like a made-for-TV movie or a straight-to-video kind of movie of the Frog Prince, and it starred Paul Williams as the voice of the Frog Prince. And eventually, when he gets turned back into a prince, it is actually Paul Williams, who at that point was getting on in years. He wasn't so much a young prince as he was kind of an older gentleman prince. But yeah, I vividly remember that movie. I think Shelley Duvall was in that, of all people. So weird. trying to fill in the gaps here and kind of soften this this transition. And how about there? And well, that barely did anything. They were all in the same series, weren't they? No, I know what you're talking about. There was the Shelley Duvall. She was the hostess, or at least the hostess of a series of fairy tales. That was from the very, I think, the 70s, late 70s, early 80s. Around the same time as the Muppet Show, obviously. But that was something different. That was there were a bunch of different fairy tales. But she was the host. But they did like Rumpelstiltskin. They did the Frog Prince. They did Three Little Pigs. I remember the Three Little Pigs specifically. Billy Crystal was one of the Three Little Pigs. Yes, Fairy Tale Theater. Yep, that's what it was. That's another thing we used to get from our library and watch all the frickin' time. But the Frog Prince, Terry Garr played the princess, and I think Robin Williams was the frog. I remember that vividly, which was pretty funny. Trying to remember any more. There was Rumpelstiltskin. Hervé Villechaize played Rumpelstiltskin. I remember that. What other ones were there? There's Three Little Pigs and the Big Bad Wolf. Did they do Red Riding Hood? Not that I remember. Oh, Hansel and Gretel. I remember Hansel and Gretel. Who played the Wicked Stepmother? Joan Collins. That's right. Joan Collins played the Wicked Stepmother in Hansel and Gretel and the Witch. And Beauty and the Beast. I think so. I can't remember who was in that one, though. Yeah. Yeah, man, that was, we used to watch those all the time at my house growing up. One of them was Supremely Scary. Yeah, I think so. I think I remember one of them being pretty intense. I'll have to talk with my sister and my brother and see if they remember it as well. I know my sister watched them more than anything because she was at the age of, she's younger, so she was definitely more engrossed than my brother and me, who were more concerned with G.I. Joes and what have you. But that was another thing we used to watch. But yeah, that came out around the same time as the Muppet Show, which again, it's fun. It's a fun trip, but a lot of the musical guests, at least in the earlier episodes, are kind of like, okay, it's like, this is a little boring. I mean, I don't really see the appeal. Maybe that's just me, but Alright, it looks like we got that section done. Cool. Alright. Cool. I think that works. We'll do a couple little touch-ups before we wrap up. One thing I wanted to do was add a textured tile to this area, kind of like the way I did over here. Maybe it's just this. We just have some of these poking up. I don't know. Let's see what we got. Don't want swamp. No, that's not gonna do anything for us. What do we got here? Desert? Desert has options. So we want to be at the same level as this. One full step down. Does that put us? I think that's right. All right. But that relies on this being at the same level, which it looks like it might be. At least some of it. Let's see here. So if we go right up against, well, it's at the same level as the tiles there. So let's come down half a step and see if we can make that a little more seamless. That's... Boop. There, that's what we're trying to do. Cool. Alright. It's a little tough to see, but we can always delete some of these rocks. Yeah, and we're probably going to have to avoid coming out that way. Maybe we use the little guy. Like that. Just to kind of add a little more texture. So it's not all just that gray rocky mess. And it also ties this into this area over here, so it actually looks kind of contiguous and uniform, and like they belong on the same map. Whoops! Grab my slider there. Didn't want to do that. So let's do that and that. Maybe that's a little too close. Oh, we're starting to come down a little. Ah, I see. Let me come down half steps. There we go. I built this on a grade. There we go. So it's gonna drop a little. I think that's fine, but I don't want to get too close to that edge. And I'm about to break. Alright, and then we come down another half step. Whoop. And whoop. This quick bar. Jeez. It was like 3 tries for me to try and get that out of there, and it didn't want to budge. Oof. I think we just use a little one. Yeah. I think that's all we can really get away with here. Alright, and then come down another half step. And try one here. Yep. Alright. And then some small ones. Right over here at the end. There we go. Alright. Cool. We're probably going to do that over here as well a little bit. Just to kind of, again, make it somewhat contiguous and uniform. And we're also going to do one of these right here. Why not? Actually, let me do this the right way. There. Perfect. All right. Thanks, everyone, for stopping by. That was awesome. Savvy Rogue, thanks for stopping by. AU Andromedus, Hodge Golashi, Errant Unsung. Also, thank you so much for stopping by and hanging out. We'll be back on Thursday for the usual schedule. We're going to do Final Fantasy around midday, noon here. Check my schedule on my page if you want times in your area. And then 5 hours after that wraps, we're going to be doing Paper Mario: The Origami King. Playing that game. That game is so much fun. It has been a blast. And I think we have 3 more. We did just do the yellow streamer. So we only have 2 more streamers to beat on that. So that'll be fun. And then again, Saturday we'll be back for more Skyrim with the fancy new graphics, or the fancy maximized graphics, I should say. That'll be fun. If you are looking for a game of Dungeons and Dragons to play monthly, I run 2 games through Eventbrite. There's my little thing there. I'm Dice and Brews over on Eventbrite. They are dungeon crawls that I run on the second Tuesday and Sunday of every month. Sunday afternoon, Tuesday evening. In fact, I have a game tonight. March's game is this evening. But the tickets for next month's game should be posted sometime later this week. So if you're interested, check it out. They're around $18, and the games are dungeon crawls, so you can join and drop each month and not miss too much story. Generally, I try to keep it just explore dungeon, kick in a door, fight some monsters, maybe die, depending on how the night goes. Maybe your character dies. Who knows? But yeah, So yeah, if you're interested, check it out, and I'd be very much appreciative. I'd love to see you, some people in these games. It's fun. They're usually Sunday. Usually there's a 1 or 2 seats, but Tuesday is pretty full of regulars. So if you do want a game, you might be stuck with the option of only Sunday. I'm entertaining the idea of doing an additional game. Since it is only monthly, it's only a little bit of effort on my part and a little bit of prep on my part every month. So I don't know if I get a bunch of interest, possibly. If not, we'll stick with it the way it is. Aside from that, if you're watching this on YouTube, there are some buttons you can press to indicate your approval or disapproval of this video. Please press one of them, as I have attached my ego to this venture. There's also a bell you can hit to be alerted of any new videos, which I post. I post all of them. If you are in the need of playing just a board game, go check out Tour Guide Games. You can play on-demand, professionally led TTRPGs with your friends over Zoom. It's not Zoom, but it's actually called Jitsi. It's same deal as Zoom, but you don't need an account. And yeah, it's your game night game changer. You can check them out at tourguidegames.com. I also run games over there. Right now, I'm working on getting Fiasco running in a sort of format that will run easily in this fashion, and it's coming along pretty good. We ran a game last night, and it was a lot of fun, and we figured some stuff out. I think some easier ways to do things, and some other additions that I got to do on my end. But games like Lasers and Feelings, All Out of Bubblegum, Project Ninja Panda Taco, Dungeon World. I'm trying to think of any others that I might be missing. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, Stabby Rogue was actually in that game I ran last night. We played. It was a blast. It's always Fasco is more of an improv game. There's no real winner. It's just trying to make a essentially the bare bones of it is you're trying to cooperatively make a Coen Brothers movie. So, like The Big Lebowski or Oh Brother Where Art Thou. I almost said Dude, Where's My Car? That is not a Coen Brothers movie. Although that would be great. Oh man. But yeah, aside from that, everyone please take care, wear a mask, wash your hands, don't touch your face. The mask goes over your nose, social distance whenever possible, and we'll catch you next time over here in the Vaporlock corner of the internet. Peace!